Scene 93, take 1.
My name is Gus Hudson from the San Fernando Valley, Woodland Hills. When I was a kid, my parents, we used to go to the Dodger games, go to Philippe's afterwards. And then later on, when I was involved with a punk rock fanzine, we'd started catching acts at Al's Bar toward the end of the 80s, I guess. I never lived downtown. I lived in Silver Lake and Echo Park. I couldn't deal with not seeing green when I woke up in the morning. Just seeing freight trucks, that would drive me nuts. I found an even better place, Altadena. It's like waking up in the woods every day. Feels like Santa Cruz up there to me. And there's a small little artist community up there. Some people have said that Al's Bar, it was like LA's CBGB's. Yeah, I guess it was that. It was a hole in the wall down in the urban city environment. It was like a free zone, you know what I'm saying? You could do what you want. As long as it didn't infringe on anybody else, you could do it, you know. White Stripes played gigs at Al's Bar. L7, Bad Religion. One of the best bands that I saw there was Jesus Lizard. They're from the Midwest. They got a pretty big reputation there in the mid-90s. And then they got a record deal, and they had something in their contract. If they came to LA, they could always play Al's Bar. Great thing about Al's Bar is she just kept a lot of the idiots away. They would just get fucked up and drunk and do stupid things and wreck it for everybody. Al's Bar, it kept a lot of the idiots from coming to the shows because they were afraid because it was in a rough area. I mean, your car did get broken into occasionally, but that's accepted, I guess. You know, it's like I accepted it. In fact, I never even locked my doors to my truck. So that was the way you had to be. You remember the LA riots? Remember when they were turning cars over at Parker Center? A lot of us said, okay, we're not going to Al's Bar tonight because we were expecting to see an anarchist band, Citizen Fish. Here we are in the middle of anarchy, and they heard about what was happening downtown, and they just bailed on the show. They kept on driving down to Chula Vista and played down there instead. I thought that was funny. Al, that was the publisher of Flipside, he didn't watch TV at all or listen to the radio, so he didn't even know the riot was happening. He just went down to Al's Bar like normal, but he was all disappointed. Okay, here they are, Mr. Anarchy, Citizen Fish, and they just didn't show up. No talent nights, which were usually Thursday. You walk into Al's Bar, get your big old bucket of beer. You drink 2 of those in a night, and then you just hang out there and watch the No Talent. And then, of course, the girl George would always end the night. She'd always sing her same songs every time, every Thursday. And she'd always want everyone to sing along. I remember that. Lisa Suckdog, that was an interesting act. She would come on and she would start acting a certain way, and then this French guy would come up and start beating on her. And it was the reaction of the audience was going, oh my God, what's going on? You know? It was the Wild West, but there was these artist lofts all over, and that was the fun thing. I remember we all dropped acid to watch Lisa Suckdog, and as soon as that performance was over, we'd walk out on the street, walk down, and someone was having a party. And I remember hanging out and eating some of their food, and all of a sudden I look up, Boss Skaggs was like standing right next to me, and I looked over and I yelled out, Boss Skaggs! I just thought that was funny. I go, I'm not tripping here, right? That's Boss Skaggs over there. And it was. I was involved with video, so I was investigating about live streaming, and I noticed some newspaper articles about this company called Hello Networks. Well, they owned proprietary software to do web streaming. And it was made for the porno industry. It was web streaming, and you could text and talk to somebody while they were watching. A friend of mine, Tim Smith, who we called Sasha, said, well, why don't we just do some shows live? And I go, well, we probably could get it in Al's Bar. I know Mark, and he saw the concept that he could stream this on his Al's Bar site. And we had shows every night. We'd log on about 8 o'clock every night, and we had a dedicated following. I think the most I ever saw at one time was 50 people. But back then, that's a lot of people. You know? We had this site called liveclubs.net.
Drag queens on choppers, dice.
We had 2 cameras set up. We had little monitors there, a computer all set up, and we were streaming it right from there. We were talking to people from all over the world there. I talked to people from South America watching this Alice Bar feed. They started paying me for doing it. $20. I got $20. Big deal. Coming down to Alice Bar, there was a lot of homeless people there. They'd always want money from you. I even had a guy that wanted to move into my pad for a couple of days because he needed to get away. But there was this one guy there, his name was Frank, and instead of trying to get money from you, he would try to sell you something. He'd be hanging out at Alice Bar, like at the entrance or inside, because sometimes they'd let him in. I think they'd give him free beer. Just a really nice guy. You could have really good conversations with him about anything. I've heard he had an addiction problem, but I didn't really ever get into it. I would just talk about his artwork. He would take wires and metal out of the old buildings and make pieces of art. Every time I went to Alice Bar, I bought 1 or 2 pieces from him. Frank's Frings. We actually tried to help him build a site so he could sell it on the internet, but he didn't have access to a computer. He goes, "Gus, look at me. I got some good things for you this time." And he'd whip them out, and I'd look at them and go, "Oh, yeah, Frank, these look pretty cool." And then I'd ask him, "How'd you do this?" And he'd show me how he did it and got the wires and made them all out. And then he would always be ending up taking a pencil eraser or something and burning it and then dabbing it. And then he'd go, "Okay, that's done. Here you go." We had this group called Art to Go. We were making fun of the artists in the area. I was looking at some of the art and going, wait a minute, we could do something like this quick and fast. So the group of us got together outside of the DADA, and we had tables and chairs set up and stuff, and we were charging $5 for a piece of art that would be done in an hour. And that was the whole concept. We didn't sell many paintings that night there. The artist community just looked at us going, ugh. They didn't get the joke. And then over the years, we kept on doing it and doing it and doing it. We got better at doing it, and so we actually were becoming an art. Where at first it was just making fun of art. So I try to get the Art to Go group together every couple of years. The last time we did it was at Pasadena Art Walk, because I'm sort of out in that area now. But the only thing I don't like is when parents see you doing that work, and they, oh, we can stick our kid there. You'll give him some paints, and he'll just, nothing against kids, but I don't want to be the babysitter. And that has become a problem sometimes. That's no fun for us. Once L's closed down, we just came down less. A lot of us didn't see it coming. Maybe we just didn't know what was going on, A big loss. It's over, It was like, we knew there would never be another Al's Bar like that again, another place like that again. And then we heard about the developments of high-density condos they were building over on there in Second, and the writing was on the wall, It was already happening toward the end of Al's anyhow. The people that were coming in didn't fit in the neighborhood. I didn't think so. And they were selling them as artist lofts, even though they weren't artists. You know what I'm saying? The real artists will probably try to find a new community, which they always try to do. I'm always looking for a place like Alice Bar, where you can do whatever you want, that free zone where you can feel like anything can happen. Every night's different. If you were regular all the time, they'd close the bar down, and if you were cool, then you got to stay over after they've closed, and you get to drink a little beer for another hour or something while they're cleaning up. Crazy things would happen, maybe sex on the pool table. That would happen. Alice Bar. So.